Okay, people. Hey, it's me, Guy, California Times, February 8th, Monday. Sometimes it's really difficult to just everything in life. It's just, I guess I'm getting old. Putting up with stuff or just trying to calm your mind down, or like, how are you supposed to do that? How are you supposed to do that with this world? Because aren't we kind of required to, we're required to stand up and do our best, and when shit is going on that's just hurts your inner compass, you got to speak. Now maybe it doesn't, somebody else's compass doesn't agree, can't help it. I got to speak. Racial equities are things coming up right now that make me feel that it's all backwards somehow. It's all just really confused. I think people really, everybody I think is kind of meaning well, but this sort of racial categorization and going after racists, quote racists, seems like this is not progress. I brought up the Tree Party the last time I spoke directly to you all, and I believe in the Tree Party thing. It's just a fantasy, it's a dream, it's a concept. I'm not going to reiterate all the elements of it, but basically the bottom line is, if you're part of this party, you deeply care about the environment, the ecology, the earth, and all people, and that we're all part of a circle. And because of that, you cannot push somebody out of the way because they have an opinion different than yours. The Tree Party, I think, also clearly sees that as a planet we're really hurting because we haven't come to grips with the fact that human beings can't keep dominating this planet in terms of our actually physical 7 billion of us. That's way too much for the planet Earth. We consume. We live in houses that take up space on Earth, that fill up our neighborhoods, and it's utterly wrong. This whole it's I won't say it's wrong. It's happening, but we're going to have to go back to and nature's going to take us back, I'm pretty sure. But I think if we go along willingly, or using our minds and our skills and our abilities to see and foresee this and aim for this, that we can make it vastly enjoyable, workable. It's a solution that has to be dealt with for the planet. We're dealing with environmental climate change, and it's undeniable. And most polls have found that Republicans are actually, more than 50% of Republicans recognize that human beings are the source of most of our problems. And in terms of the environment as well. But I'm going to read a little something from Thomas Jefferson, who's just perfect for be the voice of this, because of course we know of his own failures, or most of us know, in terms of race and the crazy paradox of his beliefs of liberty, and yet couldn't free his slaves in his own lifetime. But it doesn't take away somehow from this paradoxical element, not from the paradox, but from the truth of his message, that he couldn't quite fill it up. And I'm using him in a way because he's there, and I recognize some people will just dismiss what I'm saying because of Mr. Jefferson. But I think Mr. Jefferson does represent freedom, even if his own spirit couldn't fully understand what he was doing or not doing with his life. So 1801, he was inaugurated as a third president of the United States, and it was a very divisive campaign with the Federalists against what they called the Republicans at that time. Jefferson was a Republican at that time, though I think the party was called the Democratic Republicans. And the Federalists were more like, well, Jefferson sort of called them monarchical. I can't even say that word. They were into the monarchy, almost. They were... Anyways, here are the words. Here's the notion of what Jefferson was saying in his inauguration in 1801. If there be any among us who would wish to dissolve this union or to change its republican form, comma, this is the form that we're inherited right now, let them stand undisturbed as monuments of the safety with which error of opinion may be tolerated where reason is left free to combat it. I emphasize that what he says, error of opinion may be tolerated where reason is left free to combat it. He's allowing us to see this picture that as long as you trust in freedom, then you can handle errors of opinion. You don't have to make somebody else's errors of opinion against the law, forbid them to have these errors of opinion. Let them stand undisturbed as monuments of the safety. I mean, I think he's calling for courage on the Federalists and on the Republican side, perhaps, but more on the Federalists, to stand undisturbed and let error of opinion be tolerated. And I'm not sure right now, to me, it seems like the government is embodying more error of opinion than those who are upset or confused or may even be deemed to be racist. I just want to go one more further here with back to the Marin IJ article. Marin County Health Director touts equity progress. The question of equity. What is equity? What is a racist? Here, let me see if I can come up with an answer for any of this here. Equity, Merriam-Webster Dictionary, equity. Justice according to natural law or right, specifically freedom from bias or favoritism. Freedom from bias or favoritism. Anyways, apparently there's like racial sobriety training going on in the county government, maybe in other governments locally. And someone posted the documents of this racial sobriety training, and I feel like this solution is worse than the problem. I feel like everything exaggerates the problem. It's like the world of COVID and the world of Trump, and everything is blown up to extraordinary proportions, when in fact, in the world of progress and equality, we have been moving in a forward direction. And yes, there is frustration because in 50 years, really the entire question of slavery has not been addressed. And it's not been addressed on the planet. That's the slavery is really how we are destroying the planet, destroying each other, destroying life, all for an excessive gouging of profit, a gross profit taking. This is something that has not been addressed, and it's not being addressed. Oops, I'm going too long. Oh, just can't win today. I can win today. I can win today. Just I needed a 7-minute tape, and I've gone 10 minutes. Oh, Lord. Well, people, it's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right. Pursuit of happiness is the answer. I figured that out. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Happiness is going to be the answer. And all I got is my music. And I might run for governor just to do it, you know. And I'm fully endorse the concept of recalling Newsom and giving everybody a shot. And God knows it might make it all worse, but we've got to examine where we're going on this planet. And enforced racial classifications is not good. Enforcing communities to continually build and build is completely against the grain of what the planet needs. It's like what the Native Americans call the endless white man. But we're white men of all colors is really what we are these days. We're white men of all colors. And there's nothing wrong with being a white man. Nothing wrong with being a brown man, a black man, a green man, a blue man. We're just humans. And we want our little piece of everything. There's too many of us. And we got a problem. It's really not about race at all. It's about humanity, and it's about the planet. I guess I've done enough, tried to make some sense of it in my own way. All right, God bless, cheers.